Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto is Lucy's older brother in fairy tale. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by jCOOLn and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Naruto Hertfilia was walking down the streets thinking of everything that was going on in his life. It was not normal for a 6-year-old to think of such things, but Naruto was far from a normal 6-year-old. Naruto was an average height for a 6-year-old with light tan skin, crystal blue eyes, and golden blonde hair. He wore an all-black business suit with a red tie, shiny black shoes, and a gold watch, and he hated the outfit, mainly because his father made him. He was forced by his control-freak father to learn everything he would need to take over the family business when the time came. He learned math, science, history, ancient languages, the language that was used in foreign countries, and so much more. Naruto though did not like these things. What really interested him was magic. Naruto was born with astonishing magical powers and on more than one occasion did a guild try and recruit him, but his father would have none of that. He wanted Naruto to be a businessman and joining a guild would not help him, so he was not allowed to join a guild regardless of the offers the guilds would offer him. Naruto's mother Layla Hertfilia was a mage but used celestial spirit magic. She was a beautiful woman with long blonde hair that was held up in beautiful braids and wore the most elegant clothing. She had chocolate brown eyes and beautiful pale skin. She was the one who taught Naruto about magic and its uses. She taught him how to harness magic to use in spells. She was constantly amazed by the skill Naruto showed wielding it, as well as how powerful he already was without knowing an actual form of magic. She had asked him if he wanted to be a celestial mage, he agreed, but said it would be for the sake of learning magic since it was not his style to have others fight for him. She smiled at that and let him sign a contract with any of the spirits he wanted. It took a while, but he decided to sign a contract with Aquarius. Because Aquarius allowed Naruto signed a contract with her, his mother lost her own contract with her. Aquarius was a great friend and taught him many things. She was there for him when he was down, thanks to his tyrannical father's harsh words when he was not good enough in his eyes. Naruto kept the golden key used to summon her around an almost unbreakable chain his mother bought him that wrapped around his belt loop and locked onto itself. It was not that Naruto's father did not like magic, far from it actually. He saw the uses magic had and oftentimes hired mages to do various jobs and collected many books on magic that he kept in his collection. That was the thing Naruto loved the most. He would often sneak out of his room and sneak into his father's study in the middle of the night and learn anything he could on magic. Naruto had been sneaking into his father's study for a year and a half and had learned everything about 3 types of magic that were simple to him and useful as well. He found rune magic as simple as breathing and easily learned, remembered, and mastered everything his father had on them, which was quite a bit. He could make barriers, suppression seal, and silencing seals, use them to seal away other things, and so much more. The second magic he mastered was bullet magic. It came in various degrees. He could make one small bullet, many bullets at once like a shotgun, or constant stream of them like a machine gun. There were also the advanced things like making larger explosion that varied as well. He could make them explode and destroy large portions of wherever they hit or spread out and act like a shrapnel effect. The third type magic was chain magic. He could create golden chains to do many different things. He could use them to pierce almost anything he wanted with a strange spear-like object at the end, use them to cause damage by using them like whips that caused extreme blunt damage, or he could use them to bind and hold anything he wanted down. Naruto's mother was very impressed on how far he had come in learning various forms of magic. Layla introduced him to her other celestial spirits. He met and thought Cancer was weird but a good guy, and then there was Capricorn. The spirit was devoted alright and oftentimes trained with Naruto. Naruto found out firsthand how strong that spirit was. He was impressed by Naruto's mastery over the magic he had learned. He would train Naruto to use hand-to-hand combat as it seemed he was missing in that department. Over the years Naruto became quite powerful and was even able to scratch Capricorn in their last fight. That really surprised his mother, but she was happy for her son since it meant he was becoming very powerful to do something like that. Not long after Naruto's 3rd birthday, his mother became pregnant with his baby sister. After 9 months Lucy was born and was the spitting image of their mother with her blonde hair and her chocolate brown eyes. Naruto saw the way his father looked at his sister and it made him mad. Those eyes spoke of how he truly felt about the girl and it was a look of someone looking at something useless. Naruto wanted to beat the crap out of him, but his mother stopped him since he was only 4 years old and would have only gotten hurt by his father. After that Naruto and his father's relationship began worsen. Now on to the present. Naruto was on his way home from the local magic store in the center of town. His baby sister was so amazed when she saw their mother's celestial spirit magic that she declared she would be a spirit mage. Well, that was the gist of a 2.5-year-old statement. After hearing that Naruto went into town to buy her one of the low-class spirits that young girls kept as pets. He was smiling as he began to walk home knowing that his little sister would love her gift. As Naruto walked through the village, an arm reached out, grabbed him, and pulled him into a dark alley. Naruto was startled at first since he was deep in thought, but quickly regained his composure and shot a magic chain at the person trying to assault him. He was shocked when an old man dodged his magical chain and placed a blade at his throat. The old man was about a foot taller than Naruto was, which was kind of sad, but that was not the problem at the moment. The old man was wearing a black cloak with tears and holes in it. His hand was dark, complicated like a man who had worked outside all of his life with lots of wrinkles, but he had an iron grip. Haha, I thought so. So you do know some magic there, boy, even if it is generic magic. Spoke the old man as he removed the blade from Naruto's throat. Why did you attack me? Asked Naruto in a furious voice. He took after his father in any way. It was the fact that he hated to lose, and to lose to an old man was just like throwing lemon juice on the wounds. I wanted to see if you knew any magic, and I can see I was right. Tell me, do you know any other type of magic? Asked the old man. Why should I tell you what all I can do? That does not sound like something smart to me. Asked Naruto. Haha, that is true, but I can tell you no more than that chain magic. I want to offer you a once-in-a-lifetime offer. I can sense your immense magical power and I want to help you out, so I am going to give you a book on a powerful form of lost magic called God Slayer magic. It is one of the most powerful forms magic in the world and I want you to have it. Spoke the old man as he stuck his hand out with a book that had many ancient designs and runes on it. Naruto looked it over and saw that none of the runes were dangerous to him, but wondered why this old man wanted to give him it. Why are you giving me this? If it is as rare as you say, then I am sure you could find someone willing to buy it from you and you could become very rich. So why do you just want to give it to me? Asked Naruto as he eyed the man cautiously. Oh, I do not care about money, only glory. You see, I was the last user of the Thunder God Slayer magic and made quite the name for myself, but I have no heir to pass it on to. You are the best chance I have of passing my knowledge down to for 3 reasons. I can see you hate your current life, you have amazing magical power, and from what I hear you are quite the genius. With these 3 things I know you will take the Thunder God Slay magic farther than I ever could. So what do you say? Do you wish to learn how to use God Slayer magic? Asked the old man as he held out the book even farther. Naruto did not know what to do. Learning lost magic was like a wet dream for mages, but accepting something like this from someone he never met was fishy at best, but then he figured this was probably how most lost magic was passed on. Naruto shrugged his shoulders and took the book from the old man. He could tell the old man was happy and that made him keep his guard up. Excellent. I know you will bring the God Slayer magic to new heights and prove to the world that it is the ultimate magic. Spoke the old man as he faded into the shadows. Naruto tucked the book into his overcoat and began to walk home. He was told to bring guards with him wherever he went, but he did not do so because he left the house to be alone. After walking through the maze and across the giant road that his family called a driveway, Naruto made it to the entrance to their family estate. He sighed, thinking of the verbal lashing his father would give him for leaving without his guards again, but did not care. All he wanted to do was go up to his room and start reading the book he received from that sketchy old man. When he entered the door, he was greeted by the 12 maids that waited at the door to grade him every time he came or left, which he thought was a waste of money, but since it was not his money he did not care. Young Lord Hertfilia wishes to see you in his office. Spoke the head butler. Naruto sighed once more and looked at the butler. He was a tall man, was balding at the top, had black eyes, average colored skin, and was wearing the normal attire for a butler. What does my father want this time? Asked Naruto in an annoyed voice as he walked towards his father's study. The butler followed him and began to explain why it is that the lord of the estate wanted to see him. I believe it has something to do with you leaving the estate without your bodyguards once again, sir. Spoke the butler. I do not see the point of the guards, since I am stronger than them by myself. Spoke Naruto in an annoyed tone. All his guards was a bunch of people, not even one mage, that had basic skills handling weapons, and that was it. Even a beginner mage could have taken them out. I know, young lord, but your father does not see it that and is furious that you went against his wishes. Spoke the butler as he stopped in front of a door that opened in the center, so it was really 2 doors. It was the entrance to Naruto's father's study and he was not allowed in unless he was told to by the lord of the house. Thanks for the info. Spoke Naruto as he walked into his father's study. Anytime, young lord. Spoke the butler as he bowed his head and walked off. Inside the study was a large, expensive-looking desk with books covering all of the walls and only allowing the windows to be seen. The books varied from magic to history and so forth. The thing they all shared in common was they were all extremely expensive. Sitting behind the desk was Naruto's father, and boy did he look pissed. "Naruto, why did you disobey me once again?" spoke Jude Heartfilia. "I do not see the point of those guards. They are weak and would not be able to save me if I was in any real danger, so taking them with me is pointless," spoke Naruto, ignoring the death glare his father was giving him. "Regardless of what you think, I am the one who makes the rules in this house, and if you do not wish to be disowned, then I suggest you start doing as I say," shouted Jude. Oh, how Naruto wished he could be disowned, but knew that he could not. If he was, then Lucy would be the next heir of the Heartfilia company, and he would not put her through the torture of being groomed to take over this cold-hearted baster's company. He wondered why his mother stayed with him since they were polar opposites, but figured it was because she had nowhere else to go. Naruto gritted his teeth and replied to his father, holding back what he really wanted to say. "Of course, father, it will not happen again," spoke Naruto as he glared at Jude. "Then see that it does not, or else you are out of here," shouted Jude, unaware of the real reason Naruto was holding his tongue. Naruto got up and tried his best not to blast his father with his most powerful magical spell. As he left his room, he saw his mother approaching him, probably to tell him his father did not mean what he said, but Naruto ignored her. He was tired of her making excuses for him, so he just ignored her when she tried. He raced off to his room to start reading his book, and God help him if the old man lied about it being as powerful as he claimed. Layla looked at her son's retreating form and felt so sad. She tried to keep things from falling apart, but her husband seemed hell-bent on tearing their family to shreds. She could not even try to comfort her son about his father without him giving her the death stare or just ignoring her altogether. The last time she tried, he snapped on her and started yelling about how he was done with her excuses, and if that was all she could do, then she should just leave his room. She cried herself to sleep that night and could not look into his eyes for a week after. She knew she made excuses for her husband too much, but it was the only thing she could think of to keep their family together. "I'm sorry," whispered Layla as she walked towards her daughter's room to help her start to learn how to talk correctly. In Naruto's room. "God, I hate it here," spoke Naruto as he took off his monkey suit, as he called it. After redressing in some comfortable clothes, black cargo pants, maroon shirt with a black star over the heart and on the back, and some black sneakers on. After getting redressed, Naruto sat at the desk his father had put in his room, against his wishes, and pulled out the book the old man gave him. It was black in color and had a picture of a skeletal creature on the cover that had 4 arms. The runes over the skeletal figure read Susanoo. "Okay, let us see if that old man was telling the truth about the book and its powers or not," spoke Naruto as he opened the book. For the next 2 hours he read the book, memorizing every word within the pages. After he finished it, he read it again to make sure he did not miss anything. Once that was done, he figured he would put what he learned into practice. "Okay, let's see if I can do this," spoke Naruto as he looked at his right index finger and began to channel magic to it like the book said. He did as the book said and tried to change the magic into the God Slayer form of lightning magic. After an hour, he was amazed at what he saw. Small sparks of electricity were jumping off of his finger, but instead of just yellow like other lightning users, his magic had a tint of black to it. He aimed his finger at a small statue paperweight that was on his desk and shot a small stream of lightning at it. When the lightning hit the statue, it vaporized it. There was not even dust left. "Wow, now that is what I call magic. I am only a beginner at this type of magic, but it is already so powerful," spoke Naruto in an amazed voice, although he made sure he was not too loud. He did not want his father knowing he was practicing magic when he was supposed to be studying. For the next 4 years, Naruto devoted all of his time to master his God Slayer magic. At first, Capricorn, his sparring partner, did not think learning another magic was wise, even though he had basically mastered the other 3 he had learned, but when Naruto started to really get the swing of his God Slayer magic, Capricorn did not have any complaints. He was amazed at the sheer power Naruto wielded when using his God Slayer magic and was losing as many fights as Naruto was these days. Naruto learned all of the techniques in the book the old man had given him all of those years ago and had even invented some of his own, such as the Lightning God Armor, Lightning God Disc, and a few others. He was even able to make his lightning all black and not just tinted, which increased its power several times. He was making variations of that as well. He made a bright blue lightning, a neon green lightning, a maroon lightning, and a gray colored lightning. They all had various uses for different situations. His relationship with his father deteriorated even more, if that was even possible. He was talking about marrying Lucy off to some business tycoon's son without even asking Lucy, and Naruto put a stop to that real fast. His father threatened to disown him, but all Naruto said was he no longer cared. That shocked his father, since the man only thought about his company and money, so he could not understand why Naruto was willing to give it all up. He did not disown Naruto, because if he did then Lucy would inherit the company and he did not want that. Lucy was turning out to be a phenomenal mage. She loved the blue spirit Naruto bought for her and would often play with it after she signed a contract with it. It would shake too much for Naruto's tastes, but he figured as long as it kept Lucy happy he didn't care. Lucy loved her brother and vice versa. They were very close and Naruto even taught her some bullet magic, although she preferred celestial magic. Naruto and his mother's relationship was shaky at best. He had it how she would not stand up to Jude and that meant he could not leave for fear of what he would do to Lucy since he knew his mother would not do anything to stop him. His mother tried to fix their relationship, but Naruto made it clear he wanted nothing to do with a woman who could not even stand up for her own children, which left her crying, but he could not bring himself to care. In their home everything was a struggle and it had made him a bitter person. There was a storm coming in the Heartfilia manor and everyone could feel it coming. Chapter 2. Currently Naruto was on his way to his father's study. He did not know what the man wanted, but it was never good. Things had been getting rather intense here lately and he was sure Jude was up to something. When he entered the room there were two men with large muscles and bodybuilder clothes and if the magic coming off of them was any indication mages standing to the side of his father. He was glad he learned how to suppress his magic, now they would believe he was just a beginner at best. "Yes Jude, what do you want?" asked Naruto. He gave up being pleasant a while ago, much to his father's ire, and just started calling his father Jude. "That is Lord Heartfilia to you Naruto," shouted Jude. "Whatever helps you sleep at night," spoke Naruto with an I don't care what you say voice. Well, I have decided that you are no longer welcome in my home, so as of this moment you are hereby banished from this house," shouted Jude. That's when he saw Naruto do something that he had never seen him do, at least not to him. Naruto smiled a real smile. His sharp pearly white teeth shined in his mouth and there was no underlining anger coming off of him that he was so used to feeling when he was around his son. "Well, I am happy to hear that because I could not stand living in this hellhole for another month. I will pack my bags and leave tomorrow," spoke Naruto as he stood up and walked towards the door. "Wait, you are not mad?" asked the shocked Jude. He was even more shocked when Naruto let out a crazed laugh and looked at him like he told the funniest joke in the world. "Mad? Hell no, I am not mad. I have been mad for almost my entire life living even in a mansion this big as close to you as I have been forced to. You are the most overbearing, manipulative, control freak monster that I have ever met and living with you, no matter what the reward at the end, is far too much of a price to pay. The only reason I did not leave sooner was because I feared for my little sister, your daughter, because I know our mother did not have the nerve to stand up to you and your evil ways. I will tell you this though, if I find out you made her life as miserable as you have mine, or if you so much as scratch her, then I will come back here and kill you," spoke Naruto. Jude went to say something, probably about him not being able to kill him, but then Naruto started to let some of his real power out and Jude knew instantly that Naruto could pull off his threat without a doubt. After that Naruto walked out of the office with a giant smile on his face. Many of the servants were looking at him oddly. Naruto was a very handsome person, but they had never seen him actually smile after even looking at his father, let alone speaking to him. His mother's lady-in-waiting saw this as well and ran to her lady's room to inform her of what she had seen. My lady, I have some important news to tell you of," spoke the lady-in-waiting. And what is that?" asked the curious Layla Heartfilia. "Your son went to speak with you husband earlier and when he came out he was smiling the biggest smile I have ever seen him smile," spoke the lady-in-waiting. That caught Layla's attention instantly. His son never smiled when it had anything to do with Jude. Even if the man was in the same room, his son would not even smirk, let alone smile. This was big news, so she ran towards her husband's study. After running for a second, she came to her husband's study room. After knocking a few times, she got a gruff come in and opened the door. She saw her husband with a frustrated look on his face and many destroyed chairs and furnishings. "My husband, what has happened? I was told that Naruto was acting strangely and that it had something to do with a meeting with you," spoke Layla. She could see he was angry, but it was a controlled rage. "Naruto is no longer a part of this family. I have disowned him, so he will be leaving tomorrow. That is what happened," shouted Jude. Layla was shocked. She knew Naruto wanted to leave and she knew why he never did. It broke her heart, but she realized it was her fault. If she would have stood up for herself then they would not be in this situation. She had two choices. She could watch as her son left her for good tomorrow, or she and Lucy could leave as well. They would have no money or anything like that, but at least they would be together, she figured. She picked up her dress and ran towards Naruto's room to tell him of her decision. But Naruto could not stop smiling. After 10 years of living in hell he could finally leave. He had bought 2 magic mirrors just in case this would happen so that he could give it to Lucy. It would allow them to talk to each other whenever they wanted, so he would know if Jude ever hurt his sister. If he did, no matter how large his company was, he would destroy it, and then Jude himself. Naruto did have a few plans though. He knew a little bit about equip magic, so he would be able to store whatever he wanted, as long as there was not too much of it. He planned on stealing a few more books of magic from his father's study before he left. As he was packing his backpack full of things he might need, he heard a knocking at the door. He figured it was one of the butlers of maids telling him his father wanted to yell at him again, but was shocked when he saw his mother. "Look, I don't want to hear any excuses, so if you do not mind, please leave," spoke Naruto as he tried to close the door. He was annoyed when his mother's foot stopped the door's progression. "Naruto, listen, I am not trying to make excuses for your father or trying to convince you to stay, all I want you to do is hear what I have to say, and then you can decide what to do with the information as you please," spoke Layla in an almost pleading voice. As angry as he was with her, Naruto still loved his mother and never wanted to see her cry. The stress of living with his father had eaten away at him until he was always aggravated. Naruto slowly took a deep breath to relax himself and then nodded to his mother to let her know he was listening. "I realize your father is never going to change, so I have decided to take your sister with me and leave the house tomorrow as well. I want us to be a real family, so I want us to travel together so we can reconnect," spoke Layla. Naruto thought it over, and without Jude there he could see himself being happy with his mother and sister, so he nodded his head and his mother pulled him into a powerful hug and kissed him on the head, telling him how much she loved him. "So where were you planning on going?" asked Naruto as he looked at his mother's smiling face. "Well, you probably wish to join a guild and show everyone how powerful you and your god slayer magic is, and I know Lucy will want to join one someday, so we will need to go somewhere with a guild. I think we should go to Magnolia," spoke Layla in a happy voice. She could not remember the last time she felt so good, so carefree. It was like a giant weight had been lifted off of her shoulder just thinking about leaving her husband and the manor. "What guild is in Magnolia?" asked Naruto. He was a fairly powerful mage, but since his father did not want him joining a guild, he prohibited anything to do with a guild from entering his home. "Don't you know? Fairy Tail is in Magnolia. Fairy Tail is the greatest guild in all of Fiora," spoke Layla. "Well, that is great and all, but won't they have almost impossible exams to enter such a powerful guild?" asked Naruto. "You would figure that, but from what I have heard it is a really laid-back type guild and all you have to do is prove to the guild master you have the fairy tale mentality and you're in," spoke Layla. "It is a better plan than me just walking around aimlessly by myself, so I guess we're going to be in this together, Mom," spoke Naruto as he hugged his mother. Layla just smiled at her son. She returned the hug and went off to tell Lucy. At night Naruto snuck out of his bedroom and broke into his father's study hopefully for the last time. There was a place protected by runes behind a picture of his father, kind of tacky in Naruto's opinion, which he wanted to know what was. Naruto was easily a master rune mage, so bypassing the crappy runes that his father no doubt put up himself was easy. He was surprised at what he saw. There were rare jewels, deeds, artifacts, but the things that caught his attention were the books. There was only one book in the safe that Naruto found interesting. The book was a midnight black with silver lettering and designs on it. The paper was still perfect, as if it had just made, but the book in and of itself felt dark. The ancient language it was written in was not hard for Naruto to decipher, thanks to all of the ancient languages he was forced to learn. It was a book on some different forms of ancient magic. The book was called the Book of Zeref. Naruto could only imagine it was the legendary Zeref of legends, but could not be sure. There were all kinds of lost magic in the book and no matter how many times he turned the page, he did not seem to get any closer to the end, making him believe the book had much more in it than the eye could originally see. It was on lost magic that Naruto was interested in though. It was called life magic and it gave the wielder the ability to bring inanimate objects to life, to do as the caster wanted. That meant he would not have to worry about being outnumbered as he would just create his own teammates. Naruto quickly put the book into his re-equip space and continued to dig around. He found that there was a deed for a fancy hotel in Magnolia and with a little tweaking, it was now in his mother's name. "Looks like we will be having a place to stay after all," thought Naruto as he put it in his re-equip space as well. After that he put back the crappy seals his father put up and sneaked back to his room where he wanted to start reading up on this living magic. Okay, let's see here what the book says. Living magic is a type of magic that allows the user to bring life to their creations. They can create different creatures from inanimate objects. Occasionally, the user has to perform different techniques or preparations in order to cast this magic spell. Multiple creatures can be created simultaneously and the caster can give their creations distinct appearances, personalities, and abilities. Some given abilities can be magic. In most cases, the caster is able to control their creations, though sometimes, if the magic is used too long, the situation reverses. Spoke Naruto. He was amazed at what he was reading and was sure that this book was priceless. Oh, I cannot wait to start learning this, thought Naruto as he continued to read the book. He was so excited that he read the book the entire night and was still reading it as the sun came up. That's when he heard the knocking on his door. Who is it? Asked Naruto, not even looking up from his book. It is mommy and it is time to go. Spoke Layla from the other side of the door. On my way. Spoke Naruto as he grabbed his backpack and opened the door. He saw his mother holding his baby sister's hand and she had a backpack full of her personal things. She was wearing a more practical outfit, although she was still very beautiful in it. She had on a dark blue shirt with long black pants and a white jacket on. Naruto took her suitcase, trunk, as well as Lucy's and his things. He was so glad that learning God Slayer magic increased his strength along with all of his physical training, or that might have been somewhat difficult. As they walked towards the door, the maids, servants, and butlers gave them strange looks. Naruto was sure they would tell Jude, but he did not care. There was nothing he could do to stop them, and he was going to make sure he did not try. "My lady, where are you and the young lord and lady going?" asked one of the butlers. "I am leaving my husband and taking our children. I am going somewhere I can raise them in happiness instead of this oppressive environment," spoke Layla in a firm voice. All of the maid and other servants were surprised after hearing this. As Naruto and his mother walked out of the manor, they came face to face with Jude. He looked angry but also confused, but anger was the dominant emotion. "Where are you going?" asked Jude as he eyed his family. Naruto started to get angry just looking at the man and small sparks of electricity started to roll off of him. "We are going somewhere you cannot control our lives the way you always have." "Why are you doing this, Layla?" asked Jude as he watched them walk past him. That's when Layla looked Jude in the eyes and he saw she was serious. "I am tired of trying to play peacekeeper after every time you try and wreck our family. You have never shown you loved either of your children once and only saw their value to the company. Well, no more. I am taking them somewhere we can be happy. Now you can spend all of your time with your company and I can spend my time loving my children," spoke Layla as she continued to walk. Outside of the manor was a horse-drawn carriage waiting to take them to wherever they wished to go. One of the servants opened the door for them as they entered carriage. Once the servant closed the door, the carriage took off towards the city of Magnolia. Inside the cart, Naruto pulled out a piece of paper. "What is that, honey?" asked Layla. For some strange reason, Naruto's heart made a loud thump sound in his chest. Naruto looked over at his mother and then grinned. He handed his mother the piece of paper so she could look at it. "And what is this?" spoke Layla as she began to read. "Oh my god, where did you get this?" asked Layla. "What is it, mommy?" asked Lucy. "It is the deed to a rather fancy hotel complex," spoke Layla as she eyed Naruto. "Well, last night I went searching for some things that would help us out and when I found that I knew I hit the jackpot," spoke Naruto as he hoped his mother would not be mad. "Well, I do think stealing is wrong. I didn't take my half of everything me and your father owned, so this can be what I get after the divorce," spoke Layla as she smiled at Naruto. Naruto blushed a little bit but for the most part was glad she was not mad at him. About 2 days into their travels, it began to rain ominously. The sky suddenly darkened and began to rain. Naruto could feel the presence of a powerful ominous magic in the air. He could also feel 2 other people near the ominous creature and made a decision that would change the rest of their lives. "Mom, can you feel that?" asked Naruto. "Yes, it is pretty powerful." "What do you think it is?" asked Layla. "I am not sure, but I am going to find out. Summon Capricorn and Cancer to make sure you and Lucy are safe while I see what is going on," spoke Naruto as he jumped out of the carriage. He heard his mother shout out for him to be safe while she summoned her celestial spirits. Naruto activated his bright blue Thunder God armor and ran as fast as he could to the source of the dark magic. Using the Thunder God armor, Naruto was able to move at usable speeds and was there almost instantly. When he got there, he saw a monster with glowing purple eyes, alligator-like legs, and the rest of his body was covered in shadows. It was reaching back to attack something. When Naruto saw what it was attacking, his mind went into overdrive. Standing there defiantly like an idiot was a beautiful girl with white hair, fair skin, wearing a purple outfit and was beaten to hell and back. He heard her say something about Elfman not hurting her to another girl who looked almost exactly like her but was wearing gothic-like clothing, but from Naruto's point of view, the monster was about to waste her. Naruto, using his Thunder God armor, was able to intercept the punch. The punch had plenty of power and mass, but compared to Naruto's naturally strong body, increased by years of training and perfected by his God Slayer magic, he was easily able to catch the punch. Lysanda was shocked when a boy, who had long and spiky blonde hair that reaches down to his lower back, saved her. He had a determined look on his face, but had a grin that was showing his pearl-white teeth. He had crystal blue eyes which consisted of several concentric circles, which further enhances his handsome appearance. He was wearing a yellow and dark blue skirt-like armor with a red waist ribbon that exposes the right side of his chest, as well as his right shoulder, which were both very muscular. "I don't know what you are, but I will not let you hurt her," shouted Naruto as he threw the fist to the side and jumped into the air towards the monster's face. "Fist of the Thunder God's Slayer," shouted Naruto as he slammed his fist into the monster's face. The monster was sent hurtling through the air and crashed into the side of a cliff face. The thing that shocked him was the creature began to shrink. After a few seconds it was just a large, muscular, and was also human with white hair. "That man kind of looks like those two girls that he almost killed. Is her related to them?" wondered Naruto. His no vocalized question was answered when the girls ran to the fallen man and started shouting his name. After a few seconds the white-haired man named Elfman started to come around. Once Marahin was done examining her brother, she looked to see her sister's rescuer. She had to admit he was handsome, but she would never admit it. "Who are you?" asked Marahin. Naruto the God Slayer," spoke Naruto as he puffed up his chest. Chapter 3. After Naruto saved Marahin, Lysanda and Elfman, he brought them back to the carriage where his mother and sister were. Lysanda cried herself to sleep in her sister's arms at the tragic accident that almost destroyed their family. Elfman still had not woken up, but he was breathing and did not have any health problems, so that was good. Marahin kept sneaking glances at Naruto, much to his mother's ire. She was defiantly not ready for some hussy to steal her son away. Lucy was just smiling and talking to her mother about their new home and how happy she was to be moving there. After a while Marahin decided to talk to her sister's savior and see what kind of person he was. "Hey, so who are you three and where are we going? I am grateful that you saved us, but I am still curious on what is happening," asked Marahin. "Oh well, let me introduce you to my family. I am Naruto, this cute little girl is my little Lucy, and this lovely woman is my mother Layla," said Naruto. He did not see the small blush on his mother's face, which is something she was very happy for. "Oh, so what are you guys doing then? This is a very fancy cart, so I can only assume you are well off, but that is odd since the path you took is rather dangerous. Though I can understand why you took it seeing how strong you are, Naruto," spoke Marahin with a small blush and a happy smile. "Thank you, but my mother is a very strong mage in her own right and my sister is starting to learn magic as well. My mother and sister are celestial mages and my mother already has 3 of the golden celestial keys," spoke Naruto. His mother puffed up her chest slightly at her son's compliments. Lucy gave one of her infectious smiles and Marahin nodded her head in understanding. "Well, that's good to know, so where are you guys going?" asked Marahin. "We are going to the city of Magnolia to start our new lives," spoke Lucy with a smile on her face. "Magnolia, well isn't that a great stroke of luck? We live in Magnolia as well," spoke Marahin. "Oh, is that so? Are you a part of the fairy tale guild by any chance?" asked Naruto as he cocked his eyebrow up. "Yeah, we are. Are you looking to join when you get there?" asked Marahin with a grin. "I was thinking about it but would have to see it first to know for sure," spoke Naruto. "That is awesome. When we get there I am sure you will love it. There are all kinds of crazy people there and the guild master is like a grandparent to all of us," spoke Marahin. "I hope so, because I want to stay close to my family and that would be almost impossible if I live out of town," spoke Naruto. After that they all continued to get to know each other. Lysanda woke up and talked to them for a while and thanked Naruto for saving her, but soon everyone fell asleep. Layla was not happy when Marahin fell asleep on Naruto's shoulder but could not figure out why. The next day Elfman woke up and was told what had happened. He cried and told Lysanda and Marahin how sorry he was about what had happened. They comforted him and when he got done, he thanked Naruto for saving his sister from his berserk-like state. They explained that they used takeover magic and that he lost control of the monster he was trying to take over, resulting in him being taken over instead. Naruto told him it was not sweat and they quickly became fast friends. For the rest of the week Naruto, his family, Marahin, and her family all got to know one another and Naruto also continued his living magic in secret as he sat on the top of the cart. After a week of constant traveling they got out of their carriage and paid the coach. When they turned around they were shocked to see. Magnolia was a beautiful city with many crystal clear waterways surrounded by mountains, forests, and an ocean. Naruto had to admit it was way better than their old home. He checked the hotel that they now owned and could see it from the place they were standing. The hotel was tall, large window, had a giant pool that Naruto could see lots of people swimming in, and was on beachfront property. He could tell now he was going to be meeting a lot of girls on summer vacation. He started to giggle perversely, gaining the eye of all the females, but they let it go as they were so relieved to see their home. "Okay guy, here is our address, stop by some time," spoke Naruto as he and his family began to walk towards their new home. Murahin held the address close to her heart and nodded her head shyly, something his sister saw and grinned about. "So my big bad sister has a crush on the new guy, huh? Well, I will just have to remember that when she tries to separate me and Natsu," thought Lisana. Murahin felt a chill but ignored it as nothing. "Alright gang, let's go report to the old man," spoke Murahin. "Ah come on Mirani, stop calling him old man, what about Gramps?" spoke Lisana. "How is that any better?" asked Murahin. "Haha, I am just glad to be home. When we get there we have to tell the old man about Naruto though," spoke Elfman. Murahin just nodded her head affirmatively, but Lisana pouted. "Oh not you too Elfman. Well I guess it is okay, because now I get to see Natsu and Happy," spoke Lisana. Murahin gave Lisana a disapproving glare because of the Natsu and Happy comment, but was so happy Lisana was still alive that she dropped it. "Back with Naruto. Oh I cannot wait to get settled in. Who knew traveling for so long could be so tiring," spoke Naruto. "Oh is my big bad god slayer son not up for a little traveling?" teased his mother Layla. "HMPH I could travel 1,000 miles and still have the strength to fight," spoke Naruto as he crossed his arms and pouted. Layla just smiled and continued to tease her son, much to his annoyance. "Okay we're here," spoke Layla. They were standing in the center of a very lavish hotel and they could see it was well worth the trip. As they were admiring the entrance, a bellhop came and made himself known. "Good day to you. Do you need help with anything or are you just looking around?" asked the bellhop. "I am the new owner of this hotel and I will be living here from now on," spoke Layla in a commanding voice. Do you have proof or any way to tell for sure?" asked the nervous bellhop. Layla produced a deed to the hotel and the bellhop's eyes got very wide. After that he apologized for not knowing in advance and quickly took their bags up to the penthouse suite where they would be living from then on. The penthouse suite was amazing. Granite top counters, giant flat screen TV, a pool on the roof just for them, amazing leather couches. Oh yay, summer break was going to be awesome. After settling into their beds they fell asleep instantly. The next day Naruto woke up to the smell of frying bacon. It was his kryptonite and he instantly jumped out of bed and began to get dressed. Once he was done doing that he ran into the kitchen. He saw his mother standing over a stove cooking breakfast and his sister drawing on a piece of paper. "Morning honey, I am almost done. Why don't you take a seat and I will bring it to you in a second," spoke Layla. "Alright mom," spoke Naruto as he sat on at the table and started to help his sister draw them holding hands and whatnot. After 10 minutes his mother brought out 3 plates full of food. There were those small sausages, bacon, fried and scrambled eggs, toast and jelly. After she put all of the food down, she brought a pitcher of orange juice and another pitcher of tea. "Wow mom, you really outdid yourself," spoke Naruto as he began to fill up his plate. "Haha, thank you honey for the compliment. I just wanted my big strong boy to have all the energy he could to make sure you did your best for your first day at the guild," spoke Layla. "I want to go to the guild too," spoke 6-year-old Lucy. "Oh no you don't. You still have school to go to. When you're your brother's age then you can start thinking about joining a guild, but until then I will teach you how to be the best celestial mage in the entire world," spoke Layla. "Yay!" shouted Lucy as she raised her hands. "Well I better go. I am really excited to see what the best guild in all Fiora is like. I just hope it is not full of stuck-up people," spoke Naruto as he stood up and brought his dishes to the dishwasher. "I am sure you will have a wonderful time," spoke Layla as she hugged her son. "Yeah you will do great," spoke Lucy as she hugged his waist. "Well with all of the support how could I fail?" spoke Naruto as he grinned. He got into the elevator of their penthouse and began to descend to the lobby floor. When he got out of the elevator girls started to eye him with looks of lust. He may have only been 10, but he was handsome, tan, and showed off a fair deal of his muscular chest and arms. He began to walk to where he had heard the fairy tale guild was located. The town was bustling with excitement and many people greeted him with kind hellos. It was so much better than people bowing to him with looks of awe and fear. After walking for a while he came face to face with a large red building with what he figured was a fairy emblem and the words "Welcome to Fairy Tale" on the front. Could they be any more obvious? Wondered Naruto as he heard what sounded like fighting on the other side of the wooden doors. Are they fighting? Naruto pushed open the wooden doors and was shocked at what he saw. It looked like a magical bar fight was going on. There was fire magic being shot from some pink-haired boy, ice magic from a boy with no shirt, some kind of card and bullet magic off to the side. The place was a madhouse for sure. That was when he saw the pink-haired boy attack Murahin, but then it got bad for the pink-haired boy. Marahin used her Satan oversoul and transformed into a sexy demoness and beat the crap out of the boy, then the ice-using boy. Man, does she go overboard with that violent streak of hers. Thought Naruto as he watched Marahin decimate the other fighters with ease. That was when she saw him standing in the doorway. "Naruto!" shouted Marahin as she dropped some poor unconscious fool on the floor. Everyone looked like the weirdest thing had just happened in their entire lives. Naruto could not blame them because if that was what they were used to, then seeing her act all happy and loud must have been a first for them. "Hey, who is that?" asked the pink-haired boy. "Don't know, maybe it's a friend of hers," spoke the other boy who somehow lost his shoes. "Did someone say Naruto?" asked Lisanna and Elfman. "Yeah, that is what Marahin called that guy," spoke some guy with orange hair. "Naruto?" shouted Elfman Lisanna as they ran off to talk to their new friend. "Hey old man, who is that?" asked a pink-haired boy as he looked at a vertically challenged old man with a stripped hat on. "If I had to guess, I would say that his name is Naruto," spoke the old man. Instantly everyone who was listening and face faulted. "I am being serious, old man," shouted the pink-haired boy. "I figured you would know. I am sure Lisanna told you about him," spoke the old man. "What do you mean?" asked the almost naked ice user. "Gray clothes," spoke the old man. Instantly Gray started to look for his clothes. "Didn't Lisanna tell you about her last mission, Natsu?" asked the old man. The Elfman lost control of his powers and almost killed Lisanna, but some guy saved her using a strange type of lightning magic, spoke Natsu. "Yes, and did she tell you what he looked like or even a name?" asked the old man. He could not believe it was taking Natsu this long to figure it out. "Yeah, she said it was some guy with long blonde hair, strange ringed eyes, and largely defined muscles," spoke Natsu, then it seemed to dawn on him. "Wait, are you telling me that is that Naruto? He has to be the same age as us," shouted Natsu as he looked at Naruto talking to the Strauss siblings. "I believe so. He must be very powerful to be able to stop Elfman in an unstoppable rage that not even Marahin could not," spoke the old man. "Wow," was everyone's reply to that piece of info. Back to Naruto and the Strauss siblings. "Naruto, you made it," shouted Marahin as she hugged Naruto. She got really embarrassed but was saved when her sister and brother did the same thing. "Hey guys, glad you're here. I wouldn't have any idea on what to do to become a member," spoke Naruto as he scratched the back of his head. "That is easy. All you have to do is go talk to the guild master over there and he will tell you if he thinks you have the fairy tale mentality to join," spoke Lisanna. "Do not fret, Naruto. You are as manly as they come, so I am sure you will easily be able to become a member," spoke Elfman. "Thanks guys. I am going to go talk to him, but when I am done I'll come talk to you guys." "Okay," spoke Marahin, Lisanna and Elfman. Naruto crossed a large tavern-like entrance and made his way to the master with his head held high, showing that he was confident in himself. When he got to the old man who Lisanna told him was the guild master, he made a small bow of the head. "Well, hello young man, I am the guild master Markov. I have heard what you did for the people I see as family and am glad you were willing to do so much for them, but I must ask you, why are you here?" asked Markov. Naruto could tell he was not asking if he came to join his guild, but why he came to join his guild. "Honestly, I did it to be close to my family and to have fun just being me for once. I have been stuck inside my father's manor being groomed to be a businessman, but all I want to do is cut loose and have fun. I also made 3 great friends in Marahin, Lisanna and Elfman, so I want to have fun with them. I want to join your guild not because it is the strongest, but because it will make me the happiest," spoke Naruto with a smile. If this old man was trying to find out if he was ambitious or looking to elevate his guild, then he was sorely mistaken. All he wanted to do was have a good time. Haha, oh, I can see clearly you are going to fit in here perfectly. A guild is a place where mages come together to have fun and get to know each other, not only to become more powerful. Fairy Tail is a guild that believes bonds are the real reason people become stronger, and you have that in spades. You are now an official Fairy Tail mage, congratulations. Shouted to old man, followed boy much cheering and partying by everyone else in the guild. "Okay, so where do you want your Fairy Tail mark and in what color?" asked Markov as he held up a magical stamp. "I want it on the right side of my chest and I want it in black," spoke Naruto. Markov raised an eyebrow at the black part since it was usually associated with darker things. "Why black?" asked Markov. "Because my lightning attacks are mainly black," spoke Naruto in a nonchalant manner. Markov just nodded his head and stamped the Fairy Tail seal on his chest. "Wow, that looks awesome, kind of like a tattoo," spoke Naruto, but was thinking, I hope my mom doesn't kill me though. "Come on Naruto, let me introduce you to everyone," spoke Elfman as he dragged Naruto over to a large table where some of the mages he saw fighting was sitting. "Okay Naruto, the pink-haired one is named Natsu. He uses Fire Dragon Slayer magic," The one who keeps losing his clothes is called Gray and he uses ice magic. The girl with brown hair and the black fairy tale making on her waist is Kana and she uses card magic. You know I am the mighty elf man and I use beast takeover magic. My sister Lysana uses animal takeover magic and my other sister Marahin used Satan takeover magic. Spoke Elfman as he introduced his close circle of friends and a brief view of their abilities. They were eyeing Naruto and he knew they were waiting on his introduction. He could also feel the old man listening in as well, but did not say anything. Okay, where do I begin? I am Naruto, no last name, but am thinking up one though. I use a couple different forms of magic. I have mastered gun, chain, ruin, magic and am familiar with re-equipped celestial spirit magic. I am currently mastering living magic and thunder god slayer magic. Spoke Naruto. He knew they were going to be shocked, but their reactions, along with the rest of the guild's reactions were hilarious. Marahin was the first to come from her stupor and shouted out the first thing on her mind. How could you have possibly learned all of that and only be 10? Shouted Marahin. He knew that reaction was going to happen. He did not like bragging about being a genius, but it was the only way he knew how to explain it. Well, chain and gun magic was generic magic, so it was quick and easy to learn. The rune magic I have no idea how I was able to, but it was the simplest thing in the world to me to learn. I could just see a rune and almost instantly know what it did, was used for, how to use it, etc. I only know the very basics of re-equip magic, so I can only hold like 10 books. I am very skilled in celestial spirit magic because my mother is a master celestial mage and she has taught me for a long time. As for the thunder god slayer magic, let's just say I met someone who was trying to impart their wisdom on someone worthy and felt I was that person. I also found a book on living magic and have been studying it ever since. Spoke Naruto. Everyone looked dumbstruck by what he said. It was simply amazing to be able to use that many different magics at such a young age, to such a high degree. Well, this is going to be interesting. Thought Naruto as he looked at the shocked faces of everyone in the guild. Chapter 4. 1 week later. Naruto was looking through the request board looking for something interesting to do. He had been keeping it low-key the first week to get acclimated to the guild and its lifestyle. He helped mine for jewels, fought some weak bandits, and even ran a few errands for the guildmaster, but now he was ready for something more dangerous. Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. Skull Army has been attacking a wealthy man's estate and he is offering 200,000 jewels to have them removed along with one of the 12 golden celestial spirits. Shouted Naruto as he read off the job. He instantly ripped the job offer off of the board and walked over to the guildmaster who was laughing his ass off at watching Marahin beat Natsu for challenging her again. The old man, I am going to be taking this job. Spoke Naruto as he handed him the paper with the job information on it. What he did not know was Kana heard this and was in need of some money. Let me see. This is a rather dangerous mission, Naruto, are you sure? Asked Markov. Before Naruto could respond, Kana answered for him. Yea, he is sure, master, and I am going with him. Spoke Kana. Oh really, and why is that? I am not in the mood to share my prize money. Spoke Naruto. Hey, don't be so greedy, we can split it 50-50 and you can keep the celestial key. Spoke Kana. No thanks, cause if you drink the way you do on the mission, then all of the money we make will be gone. Spoke Naruto as he began to walk towards the entrance of the guild. Hey, I love soda, but I will refrain from drinking it if you take me with. Hey, I am in need of money and what's the harm in having some company? Pouted Kana. Alright, but I am keeping you to your promise. Spoke Naruto as he and Kana left the guild. For the next 2 days Naruto and Kana walked towards the land the wealthy man owned. When they got there they saw it was more like a castle than a home. Shrugging their shoulders they went up and knocked on the giant doors that had detailed carvings in them of tacky things in Naruto's opinion. After waiting for a while, a butler wearing a black suit, white undershirt, a red tie, shiny black shoes and his hair was pulled by what looked like grease. Hello, how may I help you two today? Asked the butler. We are here in response to the skeletal problem you have been having. Spoke Naruto. Ah yes, the legion of skeletons that have attacked our manor every night for the past week. Please come with me, I am sure the Lord will wish to speak to you. Spoke the butler as he led them through the maze of a house. The house reminded Naruto of his old home, being that it could hold 100 happy families but probably only had one miserable one. After walking for a few minutes they came upon a room that had a beautiful golden fireplace with a roaring fire going, even though it was in the middle of the summer, books, a fancy desk and a rather heavy seat man sitting behind it. The man was in a god-awful pink suit and looked like a round pink Oompa Loompa. He was smiling at least, so he probably was not like Naruto's father at least. My lord, these two have come to fix our skeletal problem we have been having recently. Spoke the butler. Ah yes, wonderful, but aren't you two a little young to be fighting the undead? Asked the man. While we may be young, we are both very powerful in our respective art and have the full support of our guild master that we could get this job done, so I do believe we will be able to help you," spoke Naruto with a smile on his face. "Ah, that is excellent. You see, every night for the past week a horde of skeletons have attacked my home. If it was not for our high walls and skilled guards we would have been dead already. I need you two to figure out what is causing them to rise and then end it," spoke the pink Oompa Loompa. "We will get right on it, sir," spoke Kana. "Perfect, I expect great things from the two of you," spoke the pink wearing man. "Alright Kana, let's go figure this whole thing out," spoke Naruto as he left the castle with Kana on his heels. They searched around and found the obvious skeletal footprints heading back to wherever they came from. They tracked the footprints to a large cemetery a few miles north of the castle home of the pink man. There were thousands of tombstones, a building that looked like a shed, and some kind of altar in the middle. Sitting upon the altar was a skeleton, but it was dressed in some fancy golden armor, with a golden shield and crow, which probably meant he was of royal blood when he was alive. The thing that interested Naruto was the large cleaver-like weapon it had in its grasp. Not going to describe it, it is the sword's abuser used in the Naruto series. "Naruto, what do you think is going on?" whispered Kana as she observed the area. "If I had to guess I would figure it is the same old story. Crazy necromancer wants to summon an army of the undead to conquer something or another. Too bad for him, the skeletons are always weak and easy to destroy. All we have to do is defeat the necromancer and the skeletons will stop," whispered Naruto. Kana nodded her head as that was something a lot of idiots did and it never worked, which was the real sad thing. "What do you think we should do?" asked Naruto. "I think we should wait for the necromancer and try and find out why he is doing this," spoke Kana. Naruto nodded his head. He was glad Kana was being though and not cutting corners. They hid on the edge of the forest and waited till nightfall. That was when they saw a man dressed in a deep blue cloak walk out of the forest on the other side of the cemetery. He was creepy in Naruto's opinion. He had warts on his face, a long crooked nose, frail arms and finger, skin so white you could see all of his veins, and dark crimson eyes. He was the walking definition of a dark mage. It was common for people who dabbled in the dark arts to become configured. 5,000 jewels says he is the necromancer," whispered Naruto. "That is not a bet I am willing to take," chuckled Kana silently. They watched as he spread blood and other things on the body of the dead king. Then the creepy-looking man began a long series of spells and whatnot to start to reanimate the skeleton. After our hands started to shoot out of their graves and pull the rest of their bodies out of the ground. Just as Naruto predicted, the skeletal warrior walked and moved, but they looked fragile and were very slow. That's when they heard the necromancer shout out to his undead slaves. "Raise my undead children. Come forth and serve your master. Attack and kill that overblown walrus that calls himself the king of these lands and make me its new leader," shouted the hysterical voice of the mad necromancer. Damn, this man must have been alone for a long time if he thought that was going to work. The council would have sent out powerful mages to remove someone who was using dark magic to control an area of the kingdom, thought Naruto. Naruto and Kana had had enough of the man and decided to make themselves known. "I am sorry to say, but they will not be doing no such thing," spoke Naruto as he crossed his arms. "Who are you?" demanded the necromancer. "I am Naruto, god slayer of Fairy Tail, and I have been given a mission to stop these little night raids of yours, so you can either come peacefully or I can have some fun," spoke Naruto. "I am Kana Alberona, mage of Fairy Tail, and I have been given a mission to stop you," spoke Kana as she pulled out a deck of cards. "The ha ha ha, you think 2 kids will be enough to stop me? Kill them," shouted the necromancer. He was pleased when the undead started to move towards the Fairy Tail mages. "Do you mind taking care of them while I deal with this weakling?" asked Naruto. "No problem," spoke Kana as she pulled out a deck of her cards and began to unleash them on the oncoming horde of skeletons. Naruto rushed towards the necromancer and cocked his fist back. "Fist of the Thunder God Slayer," shouted Naruto as his fist became covered in a black lightning. Just as his fist was about to make contact with the mad mage's face, the sword he was admiring blocked his punch. Looking up, Naruto saw that it was the undead king that was holding it. Naruto could tell it was a lot stronger than those flimsy skeletal warriors that Kana was decimating right now. "Huh, not so tough now, are you?" spoke the dark mage. "HMPH, let me show you who I am." Wrath of the Thunder God Slayer, spoke Naruto as his fist started to generate even more black lighting. The lightning began to crawl up the blade at an alarming rate and then quickly engulfed the skeleton king. It only took a second for it to be turned to ash, only leaving his gold attire and sword. "You killed him. You bastard, I will," but that was all he got out before Naruto slammed his fist into the man's face, knocking him out instantly. Once the dark mage was knocked out, all of the skeletons turned to dust. "Took you long enough," spoke Kana as she began to take whatever it was she wanted. Naruto put a quick paralysis rune on the dark mage and strapped the Kubikurumj onto his back. Once the sword was secured, he grabbed the dark mage and dragged him towards the castle home of the Pink Umpalumap. After walking for an hour, they finally arrived at the manor and knocked on the door. The same butler wearing the same getup answered the door. "We are so happy to see you. Did you solve the skeletal problem we were having?" asked the butler. "Yeah, we found the cause and put an end to his whole operation. Can you call the Rune Knights to come pick him up so we can get our reward and get out of here?" spoke Naruto. "Of course I will call the Rune Knights, but I believe the lord of this estate wishes to thank you personally," spoke the butler. They both nodded and allowed the butler to lead them to the Umpaluma reject. After walking for a few minutes, they came to the dining room where the man was eating. When he saw them, he wiped his mouth and stood up. "Ah, it is good to see you two again. When the skeletons did not come, I just knew you two were able to get the job done. Here is the 200 jewels I promised you two, but which one of you will be getting the golden celestial spirit key?" asked the lord of the estate. "I will be taking it, as it was my main reason for taking this mission," spoke Naruto as he stuck out his hand. He knew Kana would have no objections, as she had plenty of extra cash from that gold armor she picked up from that dead king he killed. "Alright, here you go. May I ask you one thing? Could you let me watch as you sign the contract with the spirit? I heard that the spirit had pink hair and I wish to see it," spoke the giddy man. Naruto nodded and began the process of signing a contract with the spirit. The key unlocked. Naruto began to summon the spirit. He found out it was the spirit of Virgo. Virgo took the form of a maid with shackles around her wrists, short, pink hair, and blue eyes. She was wearing a typical maid outfit consisting of a black undercoat and a white frilled trim apron. "When is it possible for me to summon you, beautiful Lady Virgo?" asked Naruto as he bowed his head slightly. His mother always told him to be kind to his spirits and especially to women in general. Virgo was very beautiful in Naruto's opinion, and he felt he should be as kind to her as possible. What he did not see was the blush on Virgo's face when he said she is beautiful. "You may summon me whenever you wish," spoke Virgo in a slightly shy voice. "That is amazing, thank you. I would like you to meet my other spirit if you would like," spoke Naruto. He saw Virgo nod her head, so he quickly summoned Aquarius. "You have not summoned me in some time, Naruto. Have you forgotten about little old me?" spoke Aquarius in a sultry voice. "How could I ever forget about a goddess of beauty such as yourself? No, I have simply not been in need of the amazing power such a woman of your caliber wields. I have simply called you out here to meet a new friend of mine and hopefully one day your own," spoke Naruto as he pointed at Virgo. He once again did not see the blush on Aquarius's face, but Virgo did and felt a little jealous. Aquarius quickly got rid of her blush and looked at the new spirit that signed a contract with her master. What she saw did not make her smile. Standing there was Virgo in a maid/slave outfit thanks to those chains, which made Aquarius wonder if Virgo was trying to pull something on her Naruto-kun. "Hello Virgo, it has been a long time," spoke Aquarius in a slightly annoyed voice. "Hello to you too, Aquarius," spoke Virgo as she narrowed her eyes. "You guys see we are all going to get along just fine," spoke Naruto as he took Aquarius's hand and kissed the top of it right before he sent her back to the spirit world. It looked like her face was glowing red, but he figured it must have been due to the light of the de-summoning. "Do you wish to go back to your world or stay with me for a bit?" Naruto asked Virgo. "I do not mind, my master, as long as you are happy," spoke Virgo in a kind voice. Naruto nodded his head and began to walk out of the manor. He spoke to Virgo and Kana on their way back to the guild and told Virgo a lot about him. She was surprised he was so powerful at such a young age, but that made her smile as well. After a couple of days of walking, they arrived back in Magnolia. It was dark, so Naruto decided to go home instead of the guild. He wished Kana a safe trip and told her he had a lot of fun hanging out with her. It was dark, so he did not see the blush on her face as he said likewise and left for the girls' dorm at Fairy Tail. Naruto walked for a good 10 minutes talking to Virgo the whole way when he got to the elevator that went up to his family's penthouse suite. "Okay Virgo, I can't wait for you to meet my family. I am sure you will love both of them," spoke Naruto as he smiled. "Who will I be meeting, master?" asked Virgo. "My mother Layla and my little sister Lucy," spoke Naruto. He saw Virgo nod her head and smile. Once they made it to the top, Naruto saw that his mom and Lucy were watching a movie on the flat screen, probably waiting for him to get back. "Naruto, Nai, you're back," shouted Lucy as she jumped out of their mother's lap and rushed towards him. When she got close enough, she latched onto his side and buried her face in his chest. "Ahaha, she has really been missing you, you know," spoke his mother Layla. That was when she noticed Virgo and wanted to introduce herself, thinking it was Naruto's girlfriend, but that thought caused much more violent thoughts to crop up, so she made an effort to crush them. "Ah, hello, I do not believe we have met. I am Layla, Naruto's mother, and who might you be?" asked Layla. Now this could have gone smoothly if Virgo had just told her she was his new celestial spirit and was just getting to know her new master, but that is not what she said. Instead of saying that, she said something completely misleading. "I am your son's new personal slave," spoke Virgo with a completely serious look on her face. Layla was shell-shocked after that comment, and so was Naruto for other reasons. She did not think her son was into that sort of thing, but you never can know for sure with people. "You're what?" shouted Layla, waking half of Magnolia up with that shout. "Mom, calm down, it is not like that. She is Virgo, my new celestial spirit," shouted Naruto in a scared voice. He did not need his mother's wrath coming down upon him for a misunderstanding. When Layla heard the words Virgo and celestial spirit, she calmed down instantly. "Oh, I understand now. Woo, you scared me there for a second, Virgo-chan," spoke Layla, but Virgo looked confused. She went to say something, but Naruto silenced her with a hand over her mouth. He was not sure what she was going to say, but was positive it would end badly for him. They all talked for a while, as everyone got to know Virgo on a more personal level. Lucy really liked her and told her brother she was jealous of him. Naruto just laughed and told her she too would find an amazing spirit like Virgo one day. He once again missed the slight blush on Virgo's face, but Layla did not. That did not sit well with her. After an hour of talking, they all decided to go to bed. "I am sure Virgo will love it here," thought Naruto as he went to sleep. Chapter 5. "Oh, Naruto-kun, are you up yet?" asked Layla. She had woken up extra early to make her family something extra special for breakfast, but did not want to wake them up in a way that got them all agitated. When she entered the room, she saw a blanket pulled over Naruto, but was oddly disfigured to her. She just shrugged her shoulders and went over to Naruto's bed and grabbed the blanket. Once she did this, she pulled the blanket off of Naruto and was about to shout good morning until something unspeakable in her opinion became known. Naruto was in bed alright, and like always he was in his underwear, but that was not what shocked his mother. Oh no, the thing that shocked his mother was a half-naked Virgo cuddled up into his side in nothing but handcuffs and some black see-through panties and brawl. Layla did the only thing a mother in her situation could do at seeing something so shocking so fast. She screamed loud enough to fracture glass. "What is going on? Are we under attack?" shouted Naruto as he tried to jump out of bed. A surprisingly strong grip was able to hold him down, although he did not give it his full force. Looking down, he saw something that made both of his nostrils start to bleed heavily. There sitting beside him in bed was Virgo in nothing but some handcuffs in a matching set of black see-through panties and brawl. Naruto then looked over to where the sound came from and paled. Standing there like the ghost of Christmas future was his mother with a demonic look in her eye. "Mom, it is not what it looks like," began Naruto, but it was too late. His mother was already beating him up for sleeping with a woman at his age. That was when Virgo woke up. "Master, are you okay?" asked Virgo. "Virgo, why were you in my bed?" asked Naruto as he tried to escape the chokehold his mother had placed him in. "Well, you did not tell me where you wanted me to sleep, so I decided to be close to you, master, in case you needed anything," spoke Virgo. Layla finally stopped choking her son after hearing the explanation. "Oh well, if that was all that happened, then it is okay," spoke Layla like she had not just tried to kill her own son. "What do you mean okay? You nearly killed me," shouted Naruto, but Layla just acted like she did not hear anything. "Man, that woman will be the death of me someday," spoke Naruto as he looked over at Virgo and blushed heavily. "Would you please put some clothes on?" asked Naruto as he tried to look away from Virgo's near-perfect body. "Of course, master," spoke Virgo as a quick light appeared and enveloped her. After that, her maid outfit was back and Naruto began to wonder if it was any better, but just shook his head and went to get something to eat. "Alright, let's get the day started," spoke Naruto as he got dressed. After getting dressed, he and Virgo went into the kitchen and started to eat the breakfast Layla cooked for them. "So what do you think you will be going today?" asked Layla as she eyed Virgo, who did not seem bothered at all. "I don't know, probably going to try and find a mission that looks interesting or go treasure hunting," spoke Naruto as he shoveled his mom's delicious eggs into his mouth. Virgo picked up a napkin and started to wipe his face for him. "Thanks, Virgo," spoke Naruto as he continued to eat. "You're welcome, master," spoke Virgo as she continued to eat. "You're so lucky, Naruto Nai, I wish I had a spirit that was as great as Virgo-chan," spoke Lucy with a cute pout. "Haha, maybe I will find another spirit on my travels and let you sign the contract," spoke Naruto as he ruffled Lucy's hair. "Haha, thank you, Naruto Nai," spoke Lucy as she continued to eat. Once everyone was done eating, they put their dishes into the washing machine and went on with their day. Naruto and Virgo went towards the guild to take another request, while Layla and Lucy went to training Lucy on how to become a better celestial mage. As Naruto walked through the streets, he got an unusual assortment of starts. From the guys, it was a look of jealousy, pride, but mainly jealousy. From the girls he got looks of curiosity, anger, confusion, and a few others. He wondered why he was getting these looks until he remembered Virgo was walking with him. "Aw man, this sucks. Now everyone is going to think I am some kind of player," thought Naruto. After walking for a few minutes, Naruto came to the entrance of the Fairy Tail Guild. Naruto pushed open the door and was surprised when Natsu just appeared out of nowhere with his fist on fire. "Aha, I got you now. Fist of the Fire Dragon Slayer," shouted Natsu, but before he could make contact with Naruto, a fist smashed into his gut and blasted him across the guild, right into Gray, who was looking for his clothes. "Hey, who hit me?" shouted Natsu as he stood up. That's when he saw Virgo staring at him with an intense glare, which Natsu seemed to shrink away from. She looked like she was going to press her attack, but then a hand rested on her shoulder and she realized it was her master Naruto. "Do not get too worked up about it. This is how Fairy Tail is, and Natsu is just a little more rambunctious than most others," spoke Naruto as he began to walk towards Kana. "But master, he could have hurt you," spoke Virgo, "and I should kill him voice." "He could have, I guess, but I am strong enough to take care of myself, so you can relax here, Virgo-chan," spoke Naruto. Virgo nodded her head with a small tint of pink on her cheeks thanks to the chan suffix. "Hey Naruto, my boy, how have you been? I can see you are enjoying your new celestial spirit," spoke Markov. "Yes, she is wonderful and I have been doing well. I think I would be taking a request to see what kind of trouble I can get myself into," spoke Naruto as he continued his walk to the request board. On his way there, Murahin popped up and began to talk to him. "Hey Naruto, what gives? You took Kana, someone you barely knew, on a mission, but you haven't taken me, your best friend, on even one," demanded Murahin. She was pouting, which was kind of cute but also looked slightly hurt as well. Naruto did not want to tell her he preferred doing missions alone or now with his celestial partner Virgo. "Whoa, calm down, Murahin. I did not invite Kana on my last mission. She kind of invited herself, so it was not intentional that I did not bring you with me," spoke Naruto as he backed into a wall as Murahin glared daggers at him. "Is that true?" spoke Murahin in a deadly voice. "Yes it is, I promise," spoke Naruto, trying not to die or have Murahin and Virgo fighting as it looked like she was about to attack Murahin. "Well, that's great, because now you are going to be taking me on a mission with you," spoke Murahin with a satisfied smirk on her face. "What?" shouted Naruto, only to be silenced by a death glare from Murahin. "Is that a problem?" asked Murahin, but it sounded more like a threat. "No, it is fine," spoke Naruto as he waved his hands back and forth in a placating manner. "But now let us find a job suiting to mages as powerful as we are," spoke Murahin. "Maha, this one looks promising. Help. There is a swarm of giant cockroaches attacking Akalifa town. People are screaming in fear and many have run away from the city. The knights can't deal with the situation any longer, please, somebody help us. Some of the cockroaches are poisonous." A swarm of poisonous cockroach destroyed a whole squadron of knights. "This job can't be taken for only one person. Requester: Jean-Pierre, entomologist. Reward: 600,000 jewels. Sounds like easy money," spoke Murahin as she went to rip the paper off of the wall. "Wait a minute. How are we going to exterminate a massive swarm of poisonous cockroaches in a no doubt populated area without leveling the town?" asked Naruto. "Well, I guess we can do something else," spoke Murahin as she continued to look around. "Okay, I am sure this one will be good. Lupina citizens are in great danger." A giant worm with diamond scales started to attack the area near the town. The attacks happen mainly in the forest nearby. The worm comes out of the ground and swallows everything in its way. The diamond scales make him almost invulnerable. The numbers of victims are increasing as hunters after the diamond try unsuccessfully catch the creature. "Please, defeat this creature and save the city." Requester: Krista Marija, entomologist. Reward: 750,000 jewels. Read out Murahin. "Sounds like a mission. We should." That was all Naruto got out before someone came running and screaming at the top of his lungs for reasons Naruto could not understand. "Ezra is back," shouted the man. Instantly everyone began to panic. It looked like they were trying to hide anything fun they were doing before this Ezra person came in. The real shocker was the way Murahin's anger started to flare up. After a while, a girl the same age as Murahin, 1 year older than Naruto, came in. She had long red hair, fair skin, an eye patch, and wearing a suit of armor. Instantly she began to yell at everyone. Eventually she made it to Naruto and thought it would be a good idea to yell at him too. "And you? I do not know who you are, but since you have the Fairy Tail Guild seal, I can only assume you are a new member. What do you think you are doing walking around town with your friend there dressed in such an outfit?" shouted Ezra. "And just who are you to question what I do or what a divine celestial spirit wears?" asked Naruto. Instantly the entire room went quiet. Most people looked scared while Murahin just smiled. Ezra looked ready to snap at him, but even she could not fault the celestial spirit part. You now represent Fairy Tail, and as such you cannot just go around doing things to embarrass the guild. Shouted Ezra, thinking she won. I thought Fairy Tail was about free expression of self and magic, and yet you are claiming it is the opposite. Tell me why is it you are the only one not happy about what I am doing, and yet the actual guild master does not seem to mind what I have done at all, or do you believe you are above the guild master? Asked Naruto with a smile. He was trained to be a slimy businessman, so reversing the words of an 11-year-old was child's play to him. What? No, I don't think I am above the guild master, I just am trying to do what is best for Fairy Tail. Spoke Ezra, although she seemed not as confident as earlier. Naruto knew he could embarrass her with ease if he wanted, but he wanted to make friend, so he decided to give her a break. It is okay, because you were just doing what you thought was best for the guild, but you have to remember that the free spirit Fairy Tail has is what makes it great. If you start being strict with everyone, then they will not be as happy, and the guild will not such a warm and happy place. Spoke Naruto, as he ruffled Ezra's hair. She blushed slightly, but nothing overly. Well, I guess I could be more lenient, but not overly like the guild master. Spoke Ezra, as she folded her arms and pouted cutely. Haha, I am sure everyone will appreciate that. Well, I will see you later. Spoke Naruto, as he, Virgo, and Ezra began to walk towards the entrance of the guild. Hey wait, where are you going? Asked Ezra. She wanted to get to know this mysterious blonde. We have a mission to get rid of some giant worms. Spoke Naruto, as he was about to continue walking when he heard Ezra walk up behind him. Well, do you mind if I come too and get to know my guildmate a little better? Asked Ezra. Marahan was about to snap on her until Naruto said it was okay. Then she looked like she was ready to kill someone. Hey Lisana, why does Marahan look ready to kill? Asked Natsu, as he whispered to Lisana, who just laughed. I think it is because she just found a rival. Spoke Lisana. Rival? Asked Gray. You will see with time, for now let's go play with Happy, Natsu. Spoke Lisana, as she pulled him out towards the guild forest. With Naruto. Naruto was wondering what he did to deserve the situation. He and Virgo were having a good time talking and whatnot as they walked down the road, but they could feel the killing intent coming from Ezra and Marahan. They were glaring at each other and it looked like lightning was coming out of their eyes and clashing with the others. It made for an uncomfortable trip. After walking for a few days they came across a forest with giant holes in it. The trees were knocked over, crushed, and almost completely destroyed. I am guessing the worms did this. Spoke Virgo. Naruto nodded his head, but had a brilliant idea. The sword he got, the Kubikurumjm, was a magic sword that was said to be able to cut through anything. It was really heavy by normal standards, but Naruto was not that big on using swords, and neither was Marahan. He did not know Ezra well enough to give her something like that, but Virgo was a different story. She was amazingly strong and fast. She also seemed experienced with using weapons. Hey Virgo-chan, I want to give something to you. Spoke Naruto, as he reached for the Kubikurumjm that was on his back. What is it, master? Asked Virgo. She was not used to receiving gifts from her users. I want you to have my Kubikurumjm. It can cut through anything, and with your strength and speed I know you will be able to use it masterfully. Spoke Naruto, as he smiled at Virgo. Virgo smiled and took the sword and strapped it to her back. It was kind of funny seeing it on her, but it also made her look more fearsome. Why did she get a gift but not me? Wondered Ahmad Marahan. She was watching the whole thing and could not help but feel jealous. He seems very nice, if giving one of his celestial spirits a weapon of such caliber is anything to go on. Thought Ezra as she profiled Naruto. After walking for a few minutes they came upon the town of Lupinus. It was a fairly large town that was surrounded by forests. Naruto shrugged his shoulders and walked towards the mayor's office. After asking around for a few minutes, they were able to find it. It was actually part clock tower/mayor office. After walking in they made their way to the mayor's office and let themselves in. The mayor was startled at first, but once they told him why they were there, he instantly started to smile. Alright guys, all we have to do is lure out the worm, cut its head off, take the diamond scales, and get our reward money. Spoke Naruto, as he began to walk towards the forest. That is a great idea and all, but how are we going to get the word to surface? Asked Ezra. We can get Virgo her to locate the worm underground and I will send a current of electricity down towards it. That should spook the worm into defending itself. When it comes up to defend itself, we will take it out. Spoke Naruto. Ezra, Mira and Virgo nodded their heads at his good idea. Alright Virgo-chan, could you please use your dig ability and find the worm for us? When you find it, come up and tell me exactly where it is. Spoke Naruto. Yes my master. Spoke Virgo as she quickly dug into the ground. They had to wait for a good hour before she made her way back. So did you find it? Asked Naruto. Yes master, but it was difficult. The diamond scales made it almost impossible for me to locate it underground because my sonar-like ability to find things underground just kept telling me it was a giant rock. It is located about a quarter-mile northwest of here, about 150 feet underneath the surface. Spoke Virgo. Alright, go Virgo. You did a really good job. Spoke Naruto as he and his group began to walk towards where the giant diamond worm was sleeping. Once they got there, Naruto started to charge his fist up with neon green lightning. What is with the neon green lightning? Asked Erza as she was shocked by the recently discovered lightning. While most lightning that hits the ground loses power, this green lightning will not lose its power as it travels through the earth and wakes the worm up. Spoke Naruto as he cocked his fist back. Piercing fang of the thunder god slayer. Shouted Naruto as he punched the ground. There was green static going from the ground, but they could tell Naruto was able to channel his lightning masterfully so that it did not lose power. Nothing happened at first, but then the ground began to shake. After a few minutes, the ground began to crack around them, so they rushed out of the worm's path. That was when they saw it. It had to be the size of a baby dragon and twice as thick. Its body was shining in the sunlight and its teeth were in a circular formation around its mouth. It had 12 rows of teeth, which were each like daggers. Overall for a worm it was quite intimidating. Well, this is going to be harder than I thought. Said Naruto as Virgo, Erza and Mira nodded their heads. Erza, use your heaven's wheel armor and attack it from above. Mira, you do the same with your Satan soul. Virgo, use the Kubikarabjam to try and cut through its diamond hard body. I will use my Thunder God Slayer armor to try and kill it as well. Spoke Naruto. Everyone nodded their heads and did as he said. Mira was flying in the air and then charged a worm, delivering an earth-shattering punch to the top of its head. It did not break the skin, but it did for the worm's body to be forced towards the ground. That was when Virgo got underneath the worm and used her unnatural strength to smash the Kubikarabjam into the under part of the worm's neck. It was annoying, but it was only able to scratch the worm's diamond body. The force of the blow caused the worm's head to once again be blasted into the opposite direction. Naruto saw that they were not doing the right kind of damage and jumped into the air. Once he was in the air, he began to spin his body while encasing himself in lighting, forming a lightning drill-like attack. Drill of the Thunder God Slayer. Shouted Naruto as Erza sent a magical slash at the beast's body. Mira wanted to help Naruto out, so she sent her evil spark attack, which was a green and black electrical attack that combined with Naruto's attack, creating a powerful combination attack. With their combined power, Naruto was easily able to drill through the worm's heart, effectively killing it. Alright, we got it. Shouted Naruto as he formed his fingers into a peace sign. Haha, don't go too overexcited. Spoke Erza. Haha, oh come on, you know you had fun. Smiled Naruto. Whatever. Joked Erza. Alright, you two, let's take the diamond scales, the head, and head back to town. Spoke Mira. For the next 3 hours they removed the scales from the creature's body and used re-equip magic to store it all away. Naruto was going to carry the head, but Virgo just grabbed it and dragged it with her like it was a paperweight. They walked for a few hours joking about having difficulties killing a worm. It was funny, but Naruto had to stop Erza and Mira from trying to kill one another on several occasions. When they entered the village they were greeted by a large crowd of people who were shouting praises to them. At the front of the people was the mayor, who looked thrilled to see them. It did not take long for them to collect their money and start the long trek back to Fairy Tail. For the next 2 days they really got to know each other and Naruto could see that Erza and Mira's extreme rivalry was starting to turn into a beautiful friendship. It took a while, but they were finally able to make it back home. Naruto divided the scales and the money 4 ways, but Virgo said she did not need to be compensated, though Naruto still made her take it since he helped, so she should get something as well. After they got all of that done, Naruto walked back home with Virgo at his side. "Mom, I am home," shouted Naruto as he entered his punt house suit that he shared with his mother and sister. "Hey honey, how was your mission?" asked Layla as she watched Lucy grapple onto his leg. "It was great. Me, Mira, Erza, and Virgo here had a lot of fun, and look what else I got," spoke Naruto as he used re-equip magic to bring all of the diamond scales that were his into the living room. There was a giant pile of them and would easily make him an extremely rich man. "Oh my god Naruto, there is so much," shouted a shocked Layla. "Yay, could you do me a favor? I am planning on taking a training trip for a few years to learn more and to get stronger. I want you to take half of this and put it in your bank account just in case something here happens. Then I want you to put the other half in my bank account. It will use the money for my training trip," spoke Naruto as he sat down. His mother was sad that he would be leaving for a while, but knew it was for the best. "How long do you think you will be gone?" asked his mother. 4 to 6 years depending on what happens," spoke Naruto as he headed for his room. "I will miss you," spoke Layla. Naruto smiled at her and then replied. "So will I, Layla-chan." What if Naruto is Lucy's older brother in fairy tale? End here and thanks for watching my video till the end.